Hello, this is Baby Doll. Welcome to Candyland and all my adventures. Today is the day I decided I was going to talk about how I and my husband was injured in a grease fire that we had at our home. Um, that's my son running around. You have to excuse him. He's extremely active. Um, Home, uh, 2018. I had my little one home. At that time, we had our two other children, two older girls. They were in school. School had just started. It was the day after the first day of school. Um, I was cooking him something to eat. It was around lunchtime, getting close to time to pick the children up from school. And I was fixing him some pizza rolls. I had a small little bitty pot and I was frying him. I think it was like maybe 8 pizza rolls in a small amount of grease. The way our house is set up, that's the kitchen. Right there is the bathroom. I had to use the bathroom. I used this bathroom right here. And the food was cooking in the kitchen right here. I came out of the bathroom. My son tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Mommy," pointed into the kitchen. When I went in, flames were out of the pot about 4 inches. I'm screaming for my husband after I sat him down to come out and help me, keep an eye on our son. By the time I grabbed the flour out of the cabinet to pour it into the pot to douse the fire, my husband had picked the pot up and we met each other in the middle of the kitchen floor. Grease spilled. We both were engulfed in flames. Both of us was injured from feet up to shin, almost to the knee area. I collapsed, back crawled back through it. So my buttocks and my elbow also was injured. I wasn't able to walk. My husband had grease that splashed in his face, on his arms. His legs and feet were also burned. We both had to be rushed to the hospital. My husband was able to call the ambulance, go outside, flag down the ambulance. I collapsed in this bathroom, which is a walk-in shower, a stand-in shower. I collapsed in there. Didn't know. Turned the cold water on, and I just let the cold water run over my body. Did not know that that was the worst thing for me to do. Did not know I continued to fry myself from inside out. I'm thinking, I'm in pain. I just got burned. This is sizzling me, so I'm going to cool off as much as possible. At that time, we only had 2 dogs. Our dog Lily and Cotton. Cotton was still real small puppy. Lily curled up around me and my son. I had my son sit next to me. She curled up around me and my son while we waited for the ambulance people to come in. Firefighters came in. They used a blanket to carry me out because, like I said, I couldn't walk. Within a day, my mother was here, taking care of my children. It was one of the most scariest things I ever had to experience in my life. We had to leave at the time he was 4. We had to leave our 4-year-old autistic son, who also had hearing issues, at home by himself. And through this situation, this is how we found out he was autistic in the first place. We just thought because both of his eardrums were completely submerged in fluid, and for the first 3 years of his life, he didn't speak due to having environmental allergies. So through this accident, we got connected to social workers because that was the year we were going to start going out for his pediatrician and seeing about having him tested. We are already on a waiting list for him to be tested, this, that, and the other. Through our accident, let me tell you how God worked. Through our accident, we were connected to social workers who were able to do evaluations and everything like that from our home. And he was placed into a special education program through our home because I was bedridden. My husband was bedridden. Yes, baby. My husband was bedridden. And I had to learn how to walk all over again. My husband had to learn how to walk all over again. We had to have skin grafts on our feet. I had to have skin grafts on, not only on my feet, but on my buttocks as well. My left cheek. Um, Still in the process of healing. I have a small limp, um, but doing good by the grace. Um, Getting back to the story though, but I have to tell y'all about my experience in the hospital. That's a whole nother monster altogether. But yeah, we had to go through that experience. Through that, we got set up with some social workers who was able to do evaluation and everything from our house. My son was placed into board of education for JCPS. He was entered into the special education program. He started out at Greenwood Elementary, which I love that school. I love Greenwood Elementary. That is the bomb elementary school. Okay. But he ended up at Simple Elementary. I like Simple Elementary as well. I love the teachers that he has. I'm not familiar with the entire staff. I'm more familiar with Greenwood because my baby has been there since she's been in kindergarten, and she's in the fourth grade. She's going to the fifth grade. So we've been there for some years. So I'm extremely acquainted with them. Know them really well. Know just about most of the staff. And also knew got extensive knowledge of the staff because my son started at Greenwood. He ended up at Simple Elementary. I love his teacher, Miss Ashley. She is the bomb. Miss Kelly, Miss Anna, Miss T, even though she's not there no more, they are the bomb. I love that group of teachers that's working with him. Found out that he is autistic. And yes, he does have hearing issues because of allergies. Um, he is speaking now. He's reading. He's writing. And he's communicating better. He's still having some issues. But steady growing process. So thankful for that. But yeah, we were told we weren't going to leave the hospital for about 10 months, maybe a year. But like I said, by the grace of God, through prayer, meditation, and having a strong belief system and strong support system with my mother and my father, my husband and I supporting one another and our children, and the scattered few, you know who you are, that actually came to be supportive. Show support by showing up. We really appreciate y'all. We really love y'all. But through all of that, we were out of that hospital within 3 weeks. Yes, I was still bedridden. Yes, I was still having issues. Could not drive. Had to walk with a walker. Had to learn how to walk all over again. Balance, stretch, all that good stuff. Don't realize how much you use until you're not able to use it. Okay? I am so thankful and grateful to my mother. She is an excellent mother, beautiful caretaker, an exquisite grandmother. She showed up and showed out, and she stayed for months until we were able to maintain, knowing, and it was a sacrifice for them because my mother and my father, they're in their 60s. My father's not in the greatest of health, and neither is my mother. And I'm thankful to my Uncle Bobo. My Uncle Bobo, he jumped up last minute because it was an emergency type deal, and he drove my mother from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, all the way to Louisville, Kentucky. So I'm thankful to him, love him, I appreciate, and in the beginning I went through a huge depression, Oh, I'm so deformed and mutilated. How could I make such a mistake? It was my fault. I was the cause of me and my husband. But then I had to look at it. The only thing that was damaged was cosmetic. It was just the top layer of the floor. It was just the paint on the cabinets. The fire did not spread through my house. My son did not get injured. Although he was left alone with strangers, Lord took care of my child. Okay. He was safe. Like I said, we healed within 3 weeks of us being in the hospital. We were both walking or shuffling around on our walkers, but we made it back to the house to our children. When we got home, we had in-home nurses coming in and out. Every in-home nurse that came in here and they seen my injuries, they will come to tears. Of course, a lot of people think when I tell them how it all began, because it was something simple as cooking my son something to snack on or something to eat. But not realizing the devastation it had caused. I still have flashbacks. I still have fear of my kitchen, trying to overcome that. Still struggling to feel okay with the scarring and the bruising that's remaining. Um, but I'm thankful I'm here. I'm thankful my husband's here. Thankful we're still able to function to a certain degree. Thankful that, our home is still standing. Because, like I said, it was in that kitchen. That kitchen. Yes, me and my husband redid the floor with the help of a friend. And yes, me and my daughters, we repainted the kitchen after we scraped up all the burnt paint. And you can't even tell. Let me go in here and show you guys. Yeah, I move a little slower nowadays, but yeah. See, this is where the fire was. This was burned. Of course, this is not the original one. This is a replacement hood. But this is where the fire was at. All this was completely black. Um, Also, the floor right here was black. It used to be a white and gray tile floor. It was black. You can see spots on the floor where we were engulfed in flames, and as my husband carried it out of the house, because he continued to remove it, splashes of where that fiery grease had trailed all the way out of the house. Um, so, yes, it was an extreme ordeal, but we're still kicking, we're still pushing forward, and we have survived. And I am thankful and I am grateful. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why I can still wake up and do this. That's the reason why I feel bold enough to color my hair green or blue or pink or purple or canary yellow or a combination of the two, three, or whatever the heck. I almost cussed. Whatever the heck I want to color my hair as. I encourage my children to do certain things of creative expression, especially if it's not hurting them and it's not hurting anyone else. And I ain't hurting nobody. I'm just looking good while I do it. Yes, you see shoes and chips. I can't have any of my heels because I am a shoe freak, okay, and I am a movie freak. I love my movies. I'm up to 3,000 movies so far that we own. Um, and shoes, I had up to 20 pairs of heels. And that's, kind of normal for me. I never wore sneakers. I've always wore either sandals, little canvas shoes, or heels. When I was younger, I wore sneakers because I was tomboy to the heart. But as I got older and, reaching womanhood, and that was an area I didn't, readily explore, and I liked it. So, hint, shoes. And I liked very nice and very unique shoes. A lot of them I can't keep in my room because it's a reminder that I can't wear them. And me not being able to wear my shoes is a reminder of my injury, a reminder of what I had to go through. So I'm working through those issues in order to get back into my shoes. So I have shoe boxes in the basement, and I have shoe boxes that's scattered everywhere else. So yeah, that's the story about how we got injured. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this was informative. And I hope this is encouragement for someone else who may have endured an injury, rather it was a car accident, broken limb, rather it was you were in a fire. Keep pushing forward. Stay positive. Stay motivated. Yes, you are going to go through a depressing moment. I mean, that's human nature. That's natural, especially with the psyche that we have in the society we live in. So all I can say is, after you go through all the cons, start thinking about the pros. Start thinking about the positive aspects of what you're going through, and use that as energy, as fuel to fire you up, to say, yeah, you know what? Yeah. Despite how things could have been, this is how they turned out to be. So thank you. Thank you for listening. And if you didn't listen, I'm so sorry. I'm still glad that I was able to get that out. I needed to vent, needed to release. So have a good day. Grace and blessings.